The rain fell steadily over the quiet town of Ridgewood as Emma Grayson jogged down the familiar forest trail. The darkness pressed in around her, but she welcomed the solitude after a long day. Her phone buzzed in her pocket. She glanced at the screen. Unknown number. She hesitated, then answered. Hello? The voice was calm, almost robotic. You should have stayed quiet, Emma. Her breath caught. Who is this? The line went dead. Heart racing, she quickened her pace, glancing over her shoulder. The trail seemed endless, the shadows alive with movement. She never heard the footsteps behind her until it was too late. By morning, the news had spread. Emma was missing. Sarah Langston arrived in Ridgewood that evening, the small town streets as suffocating as she remembered. She had left for Ravenport years ago, chasing her dream of becoming a journalist, and hadn't spoken to Emma in nearly as long. Yet, when her mother called, Sarah knew she had to return. Emma wouldn't just disappear, Mrs. Grayson insisted, her voice trembling. That night, Sarah walked the trail where Emma had last been seen. The police tape fluttered in the wind, but the forest was eerily silent. Then, she saw it, Emma's phone, half buried in the mud. Swiping through the cracked screen, Sarah found a single chilling message. If you tell anyone, you're next. The next day, Sarah sat in the town cafe, scrolling through Emma's messages. Most were ordinary, chats with friends, work emails, but over the last few weeks, text from an unknown number stood out. Stay out of it. You don't know what you're digging into. Digging into what? Sarah muttered. Something she shouldn't have. The voice startled her. Sarah looked up to see James Harlow, a former Ridgewood detective with tired eyes and a worn leather jacket. You're Emma's friend, he said, sitting without invitation. And you are? Harlow. I was investigating this case before it even started. Sarah frowned. What do you mean? Harlow leaned in. 15 years ago, 3 people vanished from Ridgewood. No bodies, no leads. The only connection? They all worked for Crestline developers in Ravenport. Emma was digging into their records before she disappeared. Why would she care about a development company? Maybe she found something, Harlow said grimly. Something that made the wrong people nervous. Sarah felt a chill. You think Emma was killed because of this? Harlow nodded. I think she stumbled onto a secret that powerful people have kept buried for years. The name Crestline sounded familiar. Sarah did some digging of her own, uncovering a string of lawsuits, all quietly settled, involving Ridgewood elites and Crestline. The deeper she delved, the more connections emerged. Local politicians, police officers, even the town's wealthiest family. Then, Sarah received a text from an unknown number. You're closer than you think. Stop now, or you'll regret it. The fear was suffocating, but she couldn't stop. With Harlow's help, Sarah uncovered the truth. Crestline had been involved in illegal land deals, silencing whistleblowers, and burying evidence. Emma had discovered that these crimes tied directly to Ridgewood's most respected citizens, and she paid the price for it. The confrontation came on a stormy night in the Grayson family's empty law office. Sarah and Harlow faced off with the town's mayor, who had orchestrated everything to protect his fortune. You don't understand, the mayor said, desperation in his voice. If this comes out, Ridgewood will crumble. So will you, Sarah replied, her voice steady. The mayor lunged for her, but Harlow intervened. In the chaos, a fire started, consuming the office and the damning evidence within. Sarah barely escaped, her hands clutching Emma's files. The town mourned the destruction, but Sarah knew the truth. In Ravenport, she published the story that would change everything. Ridgewood's darkest secrets were exposed, but the cost was heavy. In the end, Sarah stood at Emma's memorial, the weight of her loss crushing her. The truth had come out, but justice felt hollow. The shadows between them would remain.